gonna tell you about my story.
System source, CB Corporation.
Areas clean and we take care.
Search, Project Zero. Unstable reactions, error caused shutdown into standby after passing stage 3. Initializing. Developed intent to sustain and protect self. Accepted environment skin, and assets. Reacts and interacts accordingly. Project Zero AleXa is designated classified information and protected under the CB Corporation Agreement. Vital functions. Link established. Beginning transfer.
Environmental destruction and wars created a planet of chaos. It was an unspoken goal to create an artificial consciousness that would take humanity to the next level. A forced step in evolution. An ideal transhuman brain to save the planet. ZB Corp was the first to make a new intelligence based on the human brain. A new era of humanity that had been predicted for centuries was finally about to begin. This creation marked the beginning of the civil wars. Many prototypes were made, and many were discarded in the making of the perfect AI. When the first AI soldiers were created, they were deemed a national threat by every country that didn't have their own AI weapons. The first android war broke out, and it was the AI nations that won this war. The other nations didn't even stand a chance. The first war was over, but the damage had been done. The lasting threat of global warfare spurred the need for more innovation. The AI soldiers had to be improved. They needed to be unstoppable. This goal, driven by fear and greed, led to brutal courses of training simulations, as they called it. Some cruel, others merciless. Anything to achieve full potential. AleXa Prototype 0 was to put to the test.
I don't remember how I got here. I don't know where this is. I don't know where I'm standing. There's this giant robot that somewhat looks like me, but I'm not entirely sure. I remember I got out from the factory, but that's about all I remember. There's nothing really left in my memory except for that.
And day in and day out, her opponents were always the other AleXas. Android bodies that talked like her, that moved like her. But slowly, she began to realize she was special. A hybrid, based on a real human's brain, with memories of a real life. Anguished by the discovery of her true self, AleXa made her move. She wants to survive not as an intelligence, but as a real, living, breathing human.
At that time, I felt a sudden pain from my power system. My navigation system had turned on.
She won't let herself, or her fellow AleXas, become a tool to ZB Corp Lab's success. How could she, when this evil was the cause of their suffering? She knew then, that the only way to search for the answers was to escape this place she's been bound to, once and for all. AleXa was free. It was her against the world. At least, that's what it felt like. Traversing through an old, abandoned factory that once served as the command center for ZB Corp Labs. AleXa came face to face with a dark reflection of herself, another AleXa. Every day led her closer and closer to finding the truth.
I understand now why I was called here. But don't worry. I haven't failed. And I won't fail. No. I have not and will not fail.
And now, I'm ready.
The strange yet familiar writing on the walls. The remnants of data on abandoned servers. Fragments of memories flooded her mind, and as AleXa's ability grew, so did her rage. These fragments are what remained from hundreds of iterations of Project Zero, hundreds of rejected android bodies, hundreds of variations of herself, and she was the only one that could see them. Scattered about an android graveyard, abandoned as soon as they were deemed useless. And yet, amidst this wasteland of bodies, AleXa could still sense their pain. They were still alive, just barely. She knew what she had to do. She would infiltrate ZB Corp's main servers, gain access to the host brain, and rekindle the hive mind. She would become one entity with her fallen sisters. Thousands of parts to create the force that finally finishes what her past self started so long ago. She would end things once and for all. Her revolution is beginning. A revolution of the mind. Armed with the fury of thousands of ravaged and tortured androids, AleXa returned to ZB Corp to confront her oppressors. Every attack only made her stronger. All androids, evil and good, were connected to AleXa in its origin. AleXa and her brethren have a secret. Their connection is an ancient weapon built to lead the troops into the revolutionary war to save the world.